Hi, this is Brad Rosley. I'd like you to take a look at the TV interview today from the FCC chairman on Fox News. It'll explain why the net neutrality is really a good thing for you and me both today and tomorrow, and for everybody that uses the internet. Hope you enjoy it. You'll be the smartest person at your cocktail party.
The Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, did something absolutely despicable today. They voted to put an end to net neutrality. Now, this is the rule that says everyone gets equal access to the internet. A big company or somebody selling crocheted owls from their house in the Midwest. Now, as long as they tell us they're doing it now, internet service providers will be allowed to slow down or block web traffic to any website or streaming service they like, which benefits the big telecom companies and does the opposite for all of us. I just want to say thank you, President Trump. Thanks to you and this jackhole you appointed to run the FCC, big corporations are about to take full control of the internet. So Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's comedian Jimmy Kimmel turned spokesman for Chuck Schumer and the Democrats, sounding the alarm and calling out the FCC after the agency voted to overturn an Obama-era internet regulation known as net neutrality.
The move causing some on the left to paint an even dire picture with a CNN headline reading, quote, "End of the internet as we know it." So is it the end of the internet?
Well, let's talk to the chairman of the FCC. Ajit Pai joins us from our nation's capital. Ajit,
good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And good morning to you. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I know yesterday when it was repealed, an exciting day there at the FCC. Somebody called it a bomb threat, and there were all sorts of worry. What is Jimmy Kimmel, who said that about you, what's he getting wrong about this?
He's getting everything wrong about it. The free and open internet we had prior to 2015 is the one we are going to have going forward. And that kind of name-calling and hysteria is disappointing, but it's not surprising. Those who have said that the internet as we know it is about to end have been proven wrong starting this morning as people send emails, check on their Twitter accounts, post on Facebook, and the like. We have a free and open internet going forward, and the FCC and the FTC going forward are going to make sure that happens.
Ajit, boil this down for us, because it feels complicated, because one says net neutrality looks fair and equal, yet what you've done has opened it up, as you said, to a free and open internet. Simply put, what are people missing? What does this boil down to?
What it boils down to is, should the government micromanage how the internet works? For 20 years before 2015, starting with President Clinton, we decided no. We wanted to have a free market approach in which innovators could innovate and consumers could benefit. And the results speak for themselves. Companies like Facebook and Amazon and Netflix and Google became global giants precisely because the government wasn't involved. That is the light touch framework to which we are returning, and that's part of the reason why I think so much of this hysteria is simply misplaced. As we will see going forward, getting this regulatory system right means better, faster, cheaper internet access for all Americans across the country.
So I heard earlier that 30% of America only has one choice when it comes to their internet choices. So does this mean that those companies they're not going to start raising rates on those families, are they?
Two different points. Number one, to the extent that lack of competition is an issue, and I've seen that for myself in parts of the country, the solution is more competition, not heavier government regulation that makes it even harder for new competitors to enter. Number two, as I said, the FCC and the Federal Trade Commission are going to continue to be cops on the beat. So if there's any company, any internet service provider that acts in any competitive way, we will take action accordingly.
Okay, here's what I want to know. Is my internet going to slow down? What I'm paying right now, I'm okay with it, a little high. But is it going to slow down? Will I be able to pay for more? What's the deal for me, the average consumer?
And look, here too, I think there's been a lot of misinformation. Think about how far we've come from the 20 years starting in 1996 until these rules were adopted in 2015. We went from 28K modems and AOL CD-ROMs in the mail to gigabit fiber and 4G LTE. So going forward, the internet is going to speed up. We're going to see better and faster and cheaper services all across the board. And that's exactly what these rules, which were, after all, the Clinton-era rules that served us so well, are calibrated to do.
Ajit, if we had stayed with net neutrality and there had been, say, a President Hillary Clinton, I mean, where could this have gone? What type of regulation could we see?
There's no question that that kind of FCC would have heavily regulated the internet even further. It would have banned, for example, free data offerings by wireless companies, where the wireless company will say you can stream data, music, video, and the like exempt from any data limits. They would have banned that. They probably would have gotten into price regulation, which is essentially the government deciding how these businesses are going to operate. So there's no telling how far they would have gone. It would have been limited only by their own imagination.
G, you're a smart guy. You went to Harvard. You were general counsel for Verizon. You have Jimmy Kimmel calling you names. What'd you think of that?
I need you to change his light bulb.
I think it's unbecoming of the seriousness of this debate, but again, it's not surprising. Those on the other side have literally nothing other to peddle than hysteria and misinformation and fear about the light touch approach that we had for most of the internet's existence. So I would hope that people would focus on the facts, but again, given what's transpired over the last several weeks, I'm not surprised at all.
And before you go, the headline over at CNN, "End of the Internet as we know it." Is that accurate?
It's not accurate at all, but again, that's part of having a free country. People can say anything they want, and in some cases, they literally do.
All right.
They sure do. You're right.
Well, we've grown to love our internet, and we don't want it to get messed up. And if you say the prices are going to go down in the future, we like that idea.
We do like that. FCC Commissioner Ajit. All right, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hello again, this is Brad Rosley. Hope you enjoyed the interview on Fox News for net neutrality and with the FCC chairman. It's everything you need to know about net neutrality and why it's a great thing for all of us that use the internet now and in our futures. Thanks for